Good evening, and welcome to this week's edition of What's Going On. I'm your host, Pastor Akin Bandele. I want to welcome all of you tonight. Thank you for joining me on this program tonight. We have a great program for you, and I know many of us joined us last Thursday. We were talking about election 2024. And we were unable to actually finish because many of you had questions that we didn't have time to answer, and many had comments that we were not able to take because we ran out of time. But welcome tonight. This is kind of a part two to our conversation from last Thursday, election 2024. There are many questions that I'm going to be asking. If you want to be part of the program tonight, you can call in. The number to call in is 713-777-5000. Again, the number to call in is 713-777-5000. I may have some guests that will be joining me tonight also, so that we'll be able to kind of answer some questions and give their own views. Just remember, these are individual views, these are individual comments, and you are entitled to your view, you're entitled to your comment as it relates to election 2024, presidential election. I know last week we talked about the main candidates. Some people don't even realize there are actually three candidates that are running. You've got the Vice President Kamala Harris. You've got Robert Kennedy, and also former President Donald J. Trump. But most people usually just look at the two big parties because of their percentage of people that have decided to vote for them. I believe Robert Kennedy has about 4% right now, so which, people don't even look at that. So it looks like they just look at the two major parties, the Democratic Party and the Republican Party. So tonight we will be discussing some of the things that we could not complete on last week, and I will throw the questions out there, and we want you to feel free to call. Now, if you call and the line is busy, just call back. We're going to try to take your call and just try to maybe you give us your views. What are your views about some of the questions that we will be asking tonight? So again, welcome. Do me a favor, share the video. And if you're not following our channel, follow us, subscribe to our channel, YouTube channel, follow us on Facebook, and press that notification bell so that we will know once you have joined us. I welcome everybody tonight. Fire Librarian, welcome tonight. Alice Graham, welcome tonight to our program. We see several of you have already joined us, so I'm going to go ahead and get started tonight. I've got one guest that's already in the program with me tonight, Lady Betty Bandele. God bless you. Thank you for joining us tonight, Lady Betty. Amen. Thank you for joining. How are you doing tonight?
I'm well, Pastor, and I'd like to
We
say good
cannot hear
evening.
you. Okay, you are well. All right. God bless you. Thank you for joining us. Listen, everyone, you are entitled to your opinion, to your belief system, to your comments. So don't feel like, the program is going one way or the other. We just want to hear your views. We want to hear your comments. And if you have some inside information that you can give to all of us, we'll be glad to take those comments or that information that you have to help all of us. I want to preface by saying this. If you are of age and you are a U.S. citizen and you've registered to vote, you need to make sure you vote. It is important. You pick the candidate that you like the most, that their views, their morals, their ethics, their character, the candidate that you feel in your heart that you can go to bed at night when you vote for them. That's the candidates you need to vote for. So, but whatever you do, just make sure you cast your vote. Okay? And don't say, well, my vote doesn't count. I'm not going to vote. I don't like neither of the candidates or all the three candidates. I don't like none of them. Just vote for the one that you feel in your heart will aligns with your belief system, and that aligns with what you hear, with the promises that's made, which may be kept or not kept. So, but just vote, exercise your right to vote. Okay? Find somebody to get you to the polls. Get it right with somebody. Get out there and cast your vote. Vote your conscience. God bless all of you tonight. Just make sure you are a registered voter. You are also you have to be a U.S. citizen to vote. And somebody told me last week they sent their ballots in and then they went to the poll to vote again. I thought, how did that happen? But anyway, again, welcome tonight. If you need to comment or you have a question and you really have a strong feeling about certain things that you want to comment about that's personal to you, don't be ashamed to just call our number, and I'll put you on live. The number to call is 713-777-5000. Okay? So let's get started tonight. My first question, Lady Betty, I was watching a clip earlier on today, and former President Trump made a statement when they asked him, why all the personal attacks against your running mate, Vice President Kamala Harris. And Trump replied, he said he's entitled to personal attacks against anyone. He said he's entitled to personal attacks against Vice President Kamala Harris or anyone. He said they've been nasty to him, so he's going to be nasty. He can do personal attacks. What do you think about that, Lady Betty?
I think that is a way of humanity. They believe if you do me something, I return it back to you. Not that I believe it's right, but I think he's just acting the same way they're all acting.
Okay, so you think he's entitled to personal attacks of his opponent then?
According to the way things are done in the political system, I don't necessarily agree with what he's doing, but it's acceptable in the political system. It is.
I guess my issue or my point with that is I don't really hear a lot of personal attacks from other candidates. Not from Robert Kennedy, calling somebody dumb and calling somebody with no brain, IQ is low. I don't hear that too much from Robert Kennedy or from VP Kamala Harris. And that's why I'm asking that if any of you have comments online or you want to type your comment, if you want to type your comment, go ahead and type those comments and I will read your comments. And what is your view on the personal attack? Lady Betty, go ahead.
From my point of view, it seems like the focus is more on him and whatever he says than Ms. Harris. I don't really hear a lot about her communication as much as his.
I see.
It seems like the world is very concerned about what he has to say.
Why do you think they are concerned?
Because I hear a lot again, I hear a lot about what he's saying and not too much about what she is saying. I think we hear more about his communication than hers.
Okay. Thank you very much for that. If anybody has a comment on that question or former President Donald Trump saying he's entitled to personally attack his opponent. If you have a comment on that, just type it. If you don't want to call, you can type it, and I will read your comment. Well, let me go to the second question, Lady Betty. Why do you think, and that piggybacks on what you said, says that they seem to focus on everything he's saying, that we're not hearing from Vice President Kamala Harris. Why do you think Kamala Harris is not doing any interviews currently with reporters? And we have not seen any news conferences from her, rather. And I know people have been asking, where is she? I know she's doing a lot of campaigning and going to states and different things like that. But I've not seen any video or any program of her sitting down one-on-one with news reporters or doing interviews with news reporters. And people are asking for it. Former President Trump is asking for it also. And the news reporters are asking for it. In your view, why do you think she has not sat down to do interviews with reporters?
It appears that she is working on campaigning at this time and getting the funds and everything that she needs.
No, who is the he that you're talking about?
She.
Oh,
Kamala
okay.
Harris.
Okay, the VP, okay, Vice President Kamala Harris. So she is busy campaigning?
Yes.
Okay.
And focusing on getting the people's ear at this time. And so I think that's a wise thing on her part, that she is trying to get the people to hear her voice. And so she is, from my understanding, out there speaking to the people. And I know that former President Trump did say that she has a lot of financial supporters.
Okay. Well, thank you for that view, because I kind of felt the same way, that, she's busy, and she's busy campaigning, going across the states, and it seems to be working for her, gathering support. Let me see, I've got a caller on the line, and I'm going to take the caller on the line. Caller, good evening, how you doing? All right. Well, welcome to What's Going On Tonight. Welcome to What's Going On. We were just, I know we're just asking questions about what former President Trump said about he is entitled to personal attacks against the Vice President, Kamala Harris. And the question is, let me ask you, are you calling about that? Do you feel he's entitled to personally attack his opponent? I see. Okay, so you think the personal attack has to do with him trying to take people away from really the object of the interview? Or I mean, are you saying it's a decoy to not deal with what they are asking? Yeah, let me see if my AV team, number one, I need them to just kind of get the camera closer to me, and then I'll be able to. I'm not sure if they can actually hear you, but I think they
No,
can. Lady Betty, can you hear her?
no, sir.
Okay, the volume is loud. AV team, please help us. And
You have to hold it up to the mic. They can't hear.
okay, but they were able to hear me last week, so okay. Okay, Sister Yo. Okay, go ahead and repeat. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to let him adjust my microphone to come before me. I'm going to let him adjust my microphone. I'm going to bring this microphone down. So let's bring microphone down so that I can be on camera with the microphone. All right. Lady Betty, go ahead. And I know you were answering a question for us, Lady Betty. They're going to put you on the screen. And I heard what you said earlier about the fact that is the way he's being treated. And so, well, thank you very much, AV team. The way he's being treated, so he's also treating the people the same way. Now, Sister Yo, explain to us what you said again about what do you think it is?
Statement. Trump makes statements to get a reaction. He will make statements, for example, in his mind, he makes statements like, I didn't lose the election. Oh, it's a witchcraft. I mean, it's a witch hunt. I mean, he makes statements because he wants people reaction. And once you start reacting based on what he's stating, now your whole focal point is all about him and what he's saying and trying to prove something that's really just insignificant. He's just making up stuff. He'll make up stuff, and the next thing you know, everybody's talking about what he made up.
Oh, I see. Yeah, I understand what you're saying. Okay.
That's coming to play, because if I can steer your mind off what the true values are or what the real issue is, then I got you. That's just like with the debate that he had with Biden. He answered not one question, but he danced around it, and everybody's like, "Oh, he did so good. Oh my goodness, he won the debate." How did he win the debate when he couldn't even answer one question?
Okay.
But if I can steer your mind off track, make you focus on something that's not even important, then I've already deceived you and I've already won.
I see. Peter, are you able to hear us now? Brother Myers, they said they couldn't hear the caller, but can you hear now? Just tell us yes, that you can hear. Peter, you able? Well, thank you very much, caller. So we'll keep you online. Actually, the caller was supposed to be one of my guests tonight also, so I'm just going to keep her online. Now, Lady Betty, let me go to the third question. Hopefully they can hear us. Do you think 2020 election was fair? And why is the former President Trump, why does he keep repeating the same debunked notion that the election was stolen from him?
Well,
you can answer that, and then we're going to go to Yolanda also.
Okay, a person's perception is their reality. So if you perceive that something is not done right, to you, that is a true fact. But something one of the callers said last week kind of stayed in my mind, that she was able to send in a ballot and go in and vote. So that left a concerning thing to me. If other voters were able to do that, it is possible too that the vote wasn't correct.
I couldn't verify that information that caller gave us, because I believe there was another caller, Myers, that said, "Oh, she needs to go to jail." So we really cannot verify that person that called that said they voted twice. We couldn't verify that
Okay.
because
We can only verify what she said. If this is something that she did.
no,
So we can,
now if she did, again, I can verify it. People say that all the time. So really, because I think it's almost impossible for you to use your social security or your voter ID to vote and then still send a absentee ballot in, because number one, you cannot even get that ballot unless you're in the military or you're an old person that could not come out to vote. So I really could not verify that information from the caller, but let's leave that alone for now. So, but Yolanda, why do you think the stuff is still going on? Before you answer, Maya say, I'm still trying to figure out how much I get. Okay, I don't understand his question. I don't understand what he's saying. He said, I'm trying to figure out how much I get for snitching, cause I'm telling. Oh, he's trying to get somebody to pay him for snitching.
uh-huh.
Well, Myers, you can go sit down on that one. I don't think you're gonna get paid by anybody. Maybe by former President Trump, but I don't think you're gonna get paid by anybody. All right, Yolanda, tell us what do you think about the debunked notion that the election was stolen? What do you think the fact that this is still going on?
You know, the thing along
Pastor, your caller's going in and out.
at one time about how you have habitual liars, how they can sit up and they can lie so much that they really begin to believe that what they're saying is true, but there's no truth in it. But if all I do is lie, then eventually I start to believe the lie that I'm saying. And Sister mentioned the word, that's their perception. I just saw a recent thing where they were showing that that Trump actually lied 167 times in one session that they were having in the talk session. 167 times. He just kept lying. And somewhere in his mind, he's believing that it's truth, but there's no truth in it.
I see.
But if I keep lying and I keep telling myself about this lie, eventually I start to believe that lie is true.
I see.
There's no truth in it.
So you think that's what's going on? Okay, all right. Lady Betty, you have a comeback?
It could be that. And it also could be because I don't know the mindset of individuals. But one thing I do know is that all men lie. So it's no surprise to me that he is telling lies. I don't know not one person that doesn't.
So you're saying it's okay for him to continue to propagate a lie that the election was not fair, that it was stolen?
No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm calling all men a liar. I'm just speaking it straight up forward that all men lie. Now, the fact that he lied was unnecessary. I'm certain of that. Why he lied, I'm uncertain of that.
Especially when you have gone to several courts and they have proved that there's no discrepancy with the election.
Right, exactly. So you say all men lie. Telling a
Yes,
lie
ma'am.
is one thing, but when you are a habitual liar, again, they said 167 times. 167 times within that hour time frame. 167 times. You're not just a liar, you are an habitual liar. Right?
And I don't know
So
how many
all
habitual.
you do is lie. So if
And
all
I don't
you
know.
do is lie.
Okay, don't talk over each other. Lady Betty, please hold on. Let her finish and then you can come back. Go ahead.
Okay, but he's an habitual liar. So with him being a habitual liar, it reminds me of Satan. Which is the father of lies. There's no truth in it. When all you do every time you say something there's no truth in it. But he'll say stuff just to be able to say some stuff, but there's no truth in it.
Okay, Lady Betty, what's your comment?
I think that lies all have a beginning and maybe he has learned to be a professional liar. But he haven't gotten to professionalism because everybody understand his lies. But there are some professional liars that have passed the stage of being habitual, and they become so professional that you don't even know that they're lying. Okay, just like I watched today, there was a man that came back and said, oh, all of that he said was not true. He padded the numbers. Even though he padded the numbers, what he was saying was true, but he padded it. In other words, he might have said, oh, the inflation is 10%, when in fact it was only 6%. I don't know his necessity of padding it, because 6% was still just as bad.
Okay. Well, let me see if we have any comment online. We don't have any comment. I think all our listeners are just listening. I think many of them may be afraid to even call in or be able to make a comment. But it's all right. It's okay.
Amen.
Hey, listen, your view is your view. Your comment is your comment, and you are welcome to comment on any of these questions, and I will read your comment on air. Let me go to the next question. I'm going to start with Lady Betty first. Are you better or worse today than you were 4 years ago economically? Are you better? And any of you, my viewers or my listeners, you can comment, just say, yes, I'm better, or no, I'm worse. Are you better or worse today than you were 4 years ago economically? Lady Betty.
Me personally, no.
Okay, you are worse today than you were 4 years ago economically.
No, I'm not.
So you are better today than you were 4 years ago.
Yes.
All right, thank you. Minister Yo, can you answer that question also?
I am so much better.
How are you? Okay, can you tell us how you so much better?
Situational wise, I am so much better. Being able to have things kind of laid out, know exactly where things are going. I understand that we went through COVID, we went through this, but I'm a lot better than I was 4 years ago.
Oh, okay. With the price of gas high as sky,
Come
with
on.
the price of food high as sky, with the housing high. Can you explain to me, Lady Betty, how are you better? And then I'm going to come back to Yolanda. How are you better?
Okay. Personally, for me, I'm better because I've grown and I've learned. But when you're talking about the system and the economic system of the world, not mine, I look at it just what you just said. Remember, Pastor, I feel this way. Food prices are high. Gas prices are extremely
Okay, stop right
high.
there. Stop right there. Stop right there. Food prices are high today. Gas prices are high today. But you are better off. No, hold on. Please, guests, just pay attention, listen before you respond. Okay, please. Food prices are high. Gas prices are high. Purchasing homes are high. Clothing are high. Clothing or buying clothes are high. And your paycheck has not gotten higher. Can you explain to my viewers, how are you better today when things are less expensive 4 years ago? How are you better today with the same income but higher gas prices and food prices? That's what I want to hear.
Okay. Again, I go back to my faith. Okay. The reason why I'm better is because I've grown to know God. And
no. Okay. Stop again. I'm talking about economically.
Okay.
Economically. And let's be honest with ourselves. Let's be honest with ourselves. I don't like when people use religion and all of this stuff too. But listen, I am not better today than I was 4 years ago, because I spend more on groceries. I spend more on gas. I spend more than I spent 4 years ago. Let's not play this game.
Okay.
Okay. I'm making $1,000 like 4 years ago, and I'm still making the same $1,000. But I used to spend $200 4 years ago for food. Now I'm spending $500. Well, guess what? I'm better because my credit card is all. Let's not fool ourselves.
Okay, well, let me explain it this way, Pastor.
Yes,
I still go to the grocery store. I still buy everything that I want that I bought when it wasn't as expensive.
For
I
the same
still have,
price?
it might not be the same price, but I'm going to explain to you what I mean. That either I could say that I'm the same or I'm better, okay? Because when I go to the grocery store now, my credit card doesn't decline, right? Back then, hear me out, Pastor. I know you about to disagree, but hear me out. Let me finish. Okay. I pay more for my clothes now than I did back then, but I still buy my clothes. Okay. The gas that is in my car, although it's still expensive, I still put gas in my car and I still go where I need to go.
So, okay, I'm going to summarize again. So you are better, paying more, and your credit card bill going up and higher. You are better today. You are fine with living from paycheck to paycheck and cannot be able to save. So I hear you now. Well, Yolanda, talk to me. Explain your view about you being. I'm not trying to be politically correct. I'm trying to prove a point that people have these talking points. Oh, I'm better. No. This is not about politics. Hey, I know what my savings were 4 years ago. I know how much I've pulled out to support my family in the past 4 years. So I'm not going to sit here and say, well, I'm just happy that, food is higher, gas is higher, and my savings has gone down over 30,000 in 3 years. I'm just feeling better. Thank you, Jesus. Listen, let's talk. Minister Ford, talk to me. How are you better?
Well, now, break it down the way you broke it down. Insurance is super high.
Huh?
You're right. Food is super high. Gas is about the same. I wouldn't say it's astronomically high, but a lot of times you can go to the store and buy something, and what you brought this year, last year you had 5 pounds. Now we're gonna give you 4 pounds, same price. So from that aspect, yeah, it's inflated. But I think for me, because I know that I'm on a downward slope here, right? And I know eventually I'm gonna be, not necessarily working. I'm gonna be able to sit back like you and eat bonbons, Pastor. But that's the point that I was looking at. I'm closer towards my goal.
Because my viewers, they say, Maya said, you all need to stop the cap. You know what cap is? That means stop lying. That you are better spending more money on everything. So that's what. See, my viewers are real people here saying, listen, I'm not saying it's the Democrats or the Republicans. I'm just saying my money is not going as far as it used to go 4 years ago.
Now, with that, I would agree with that. I would agree with that point. Like I said, when you asked the question initially, am I better now than I was 4 years ago?
Economically.
Right, but when you broke it down the way you did, I do understand what you're saying now, and you're right. Yes, everything has escalated. Everything costs you a little bit more: insurance, cars, house, everything.
I mean, because I'm even in my home, I'm trying to decide: do I keep the insurance that I have or just cancel it? And I've been talking about it now for a year. Do I keep it or just cancel? Even the insurance on the church building, I mean, it's tripled. How is that better for the church finances? When I used to pay $600 for the insurance 3-4 years ago, and now I'm paying $1,700 for the same building.
Absolutely.
So, Myers, I'm with you, man. Church folks need to stop the cap. All right. That's why I love my viewers. They're gonna tell the truth. Fire Librarian said, great point. Peter, you able, even if you can afford it, it doesn't mean you are doing better financially. Another person, one of my viewers, this Ali said, I am struggling, Pastor. And I said, hey, sister, I feel you. I am too. I feel it. Even though I have multiple businesses, I know how much I've pulled from my stash of savings in the past 1 year. I'm talking about over 30 or 40,000 I've pulled out just to keep afloat. So financially, I'm not doing better. So, and it's not about politics. It's not about who is in the government, who is not. I'm just speaking facts based on me managing our finances in my home. My finances is not stretching as far. Thank you, my viewers. I get another comment from Steve. I believe the issue is not, am I better economically? The issue is who will lead us into a better future. Thank you very much, Steve, for that comment. All right, let me go to the next question. Are you planning to vote in this 2024 election? And if you are planning to vote, what are your deciding factors to pick, for you to pick your presidential candidate, whether it be former President Trump, Robert Kennedy, or Vice President Kamala Harris? Are you planning to vote? Let me ask Lady Betty, yes or no?
Yes.
Minister Ford, are you planning to vote?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Well, okay, let me go back to Lady Betty. What are your deciding factors to pick your candidate? Don't tell us who you're voting for. Just tell us what are your deciding factors, or give us just two factors.
Okay. I've heard one side of what one believe, and I heard what the other one believe. And then my next principle is to acknowledge God and for him to direct me in who I vote for.
All right. Minister Ford.
Did somebody just say no, they're not voting?
Alice just said no, she's not voting.
Okay, wait a minute.
We don't deal with that. Hold on. You tell us first. Are you voting?
Absolutely.
And what are your, give me two deciding factors that you are using to actually vote, to pick your candidate?
Yeah, I'm looking holistically at both candidates, right?
Okay.
And what
three candidates, really? Robert Kennedy is also a candidate.
Okay. Okay.
Don't forget the brother now.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
Well, okay. All right. So
yeah. What are the two factors? I didn't hear your two factors.
Just holistically looking at their views, looking at how they stand, how they represent themselves, and basically some of the things that they're presenting before the people. You know, what's really ironic, Pastor, is Harris made a comment in reference to tips. And Trump took the same comment that she made, and he stood before his people and repeated word for word exactly what she said as if he said it.
Well, I was told that former President Trump said that first. I did some research and some fact checking, and it came up that former President Trump was the first one to say that he would not tax tips. And then that the VP Kamala Harris also believed that tips should not be taxed. That is what I fact checked about who actually claimed that first, that they will not charge taxes on tips.
What was your source?
Well, there is a website that that I went on that actually do facts, a fact check to check the facts that who said it. Does that mean, just because somebody say, okay, this is what I'm going to do, that doesn't mean the other person cannot do the same thing. But I'm just saying, let's be fair. From everything I've seen, former President Trump was the first one to say that he will not tax tips. And VP Kamala Harris also believed that tips should not be taxed. So Twyla say yes, absolutely, she's going to vote. And then Fire Librarian said, I definitely plan on voting. Our ancestors died for the right to vote. Oh, I wish Fire Librarian could preach that on my program. Thank you so much, Fire Librarian, for saying that, because you got some cuckoo people, some people that are just ignorant. After people shed blood and died for you to have the right to vote, for you to sit your caucus at home and tell me, I am voting, there ain't no good candidate to vote for. Just get out and vote your conscience. If both of them are evil, vote for the best of the two, whatever your conscience says. But don't you sit your caucus at home and talk about, no, I am voting. And both of them are old, but now we got a young one. Well, that's a woman. Trump doesn't know how to talk. Listen, get out and vote your conscience. Thank you, Fire Librarian, for bringing that point up. I became an American citizen so that I could actually vote. I was so glad the first year I voted, because you feel like, okay, you casting your own vote. People died to give some of us, the right to actually to be able to go to the poll to vote. So thank you so much, Fire Librarian, for pointing that out. Twyla said their views and experience. Okay, thank you. T. Roberts, be careful with political views. They tend to come off persuasive to bend votes toward a particular side. I'm just saying. Thank you, T. Roberts, for that comment. Thank you for that comment. All right. Well, let's go to our next question tonight. What policies do you like from all the candidates that will cause you to vote for them? Don't say the name of who you're going to vote for. I really don't care. What I care is that you get out and vote your conscience. But tell us, what are the policies or the things that you like from the candidates that will cause you to vote for them? Let me go with Minister Ford first.
What are the policies?
The policies or what they are saying that you like to cause you to say, you know what, I like this person better than that person or that person.
Yeah, I like the fact that this party basically is saying, I'm going to say equal opportunity, right? It's not leaning heavily upon the any type of white supremacy or any type of racial discrimination. It's not trying to come up against one party against another, whereas you sit back and you're talking and talking and talking, but you're not saying anything. You know, out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth will speak. And, you know, just talking just to hear noise or just to hear yourself talk, that means that you don't really have any substance. So I'm going for the party that basically is able to stand on views, being able to present their stand.
Their policies. Okay. All right. Okay. Thank you very much for that, Minister Ford. Lady Betty.
Pastor, my vote won't necessarily be on what they said, because I know that they are saying some great things, both parties. I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that. And I understand it's a part of political thing. It's what you do, trying to convince people that this is what you're going to do. And I was listening at so many things that one of them said, and I thought, oh, wow, you're like God. You're going to change this whole system. You're going to work it all out. So I just listened and I thought, wow, you're making all of these promises. And the one thing that I thought about man's promises, they fail in their promises. So that won't be one of my means of choosing.
All right. Let me go to my viewers tonight. I got Steve. Yes, I'm going to vote. My deciding factors who will not take away my freedoms, nor take away from seniors or other programs that help hurting Americans. So he said those are these two factors for him. Who is not going to take his freedom away from him, freedom to vote or his freedom away. And also who will not take away the help that are for seniors, who will not cut down the programs that help the down and out, the hurting people in America. Jonathan Abdul Myers is laughing at all of you tonight. He said, there ain't no policies. All right. Well, you know, I need to get Myers on my program sometime. I like that brother.
Amen. Amen.
I like him. He's a sharpshooter. He shoots straight. Yeah, I'm telling you, the brother doesn't cap, man. He gonna take. Hey, ever since I know him, he'll tell you the way it is. He's gonna tell you how he feels about it, and he's not gonna cap. If the sky is blue, he's gonna tell you that sky is blue, and you don't like it, tough luck. If he likes to see a beautiful woman passing by and looks, he's gonna tell you, yeah, I look because she's fine. And he ain't gonna look at, oh, I'm a Christian, I shouldn't look at. No, brother doesn't. Ever since I've known him, he will tell you the way it is. And that's what I love about him. Yeah, okay, Twyla, I'm concerned with maintaining my freedom. Okay, Twyla said the reason for him is, am I gonna be able to maintain my freedom with one person saying this and the other one saying that? Thank you very much for your comments tonight. T. Roberts said policies must be known first in order to truthfully say you have an option. Very good. Most won't be based on the policies over their feelings. Most people Most won't vote their votes based on policy over their feelings. Thank you very much, T. Roberts, for that comment. Well, I tell you what, let's go to my next question. I'm going to give you 5 factors that I've been hearing from both sides. Okay, the 5 factors I've been hearing from both sides. Number 1, taxes. Number 2, reproductive right of women. Number 3, border control. Number 4, inflation. Number 5, fuel and food prices. Now, which 2 factors will you say is most important to you in this 2024 election? I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to type it I'm going to pin it. We are talking about reproductive, taxes, reproductive right. And if you understand what those mean, you can ask the question also. Border control, and inflation. Okay, inflation, and last but not the least, food and gas prices. Okay, and I'm pinning it up there right now, so that way my viewers can actually see it. I just pinned the message, so everybody will see it on top of your screen. So, Lady Betty, give me 2 factors: taxes, reproductive right of women, border control, inflation, fuel and food prices. What are the 2 factors that are more important to you, Lady Betty?
All of them.
I said 2.
I know, but as you're trying to get me to get 2, I would say life.
Say it again.
I would say life.
Life?
Mm-hmm.
Life is not in my choices I gave you. Let me read the choices again.
Read it again.
Taxes,
Mm-hmm.
reproductive right of women, border control, inflation, fuel or gas, and food prices.
Okay. When I said life, it's under reproduction, right?
Okay. So your number 1, reproductive rights. Okay. I give you multiple choice. So don't go. So what's number 2?
So we can deal with inflation.
Inflation. So inflation and reproductive right of women is what is going to sway your vote to one candidate or the other. All right. What about you, Minister Ford?
I would say taxes and border control.
Border control. Okay. Hey, viewers, talk to me. Okay. Maya say you can't scare me to vote for you.
Amen. Say it again.
I don't know who's trying to vote. Who's trying to scare Myers now. Fire librarian said taxes, border control. Okay. What will fuel my? If I'm going to pick one, is going to be fuel and food prices, and also inflation. That would be my 2. Okay. Twyla said food and gas prices and border control. Thank you very much for that. Since all of yours are saying border control, I see a lot of border control. Let me ask a question, a backup question to that. What can be done with border control? I understand a lot of people are coming in illegally from different countries. Number 1, why do you think that is happening? Number 2, what can the states do to curb that? Does anybody want to pick up that, or you want Yolanda to pick it up?
Repeat the question.
Okay. Since everybody is talking about border control as one of their main things for trying to pick a candidate, which, number 1, let me just say this, I don't believe somebody just intentionally opened the border and said, let everybody come in. I think that's just a talking point. I don't believe that. I don't believe any country in the world we'll just open all your borders and let people just come in anyhow. No. Now, are people coming in illegally? Definitely. Are they coming in by the thousands and millions? Definitely. But I don't believe any sensible country will open its borders to just have no border. The Bible says, "City without walls." I mean, that people that do certain things, they are like a city without walls. You know, the country has borders, okay? And I don't think anyone in their right mind would just have, let's open all the borders. We don't need to have borders anymore. Let everybody just come in. I don't think that's what's happening. I believe that the laws are relaxed. I believe that they are not doing what they're supposed to do to control the border. But the talking point that, oh, they just want borderless, you know, America. I don't believe that. I don't believe that. So let's talk about the border control that you're talking about. What do you mean by that?
Pastor, if I leave my door unlocked and the thief knows that it's unlocked, he's going to come in. So when somebody wants to control what is going on in their house, they prepare things to stop the thief. And when you said that he that have no control over his own spirit is like a city with broken down and without walls, I thought about the former president who wanted to put up a wall for this border protection and how they disagreed. They left them open for this to happen. They disagreed with him and did not want him to. And it's amazing how I'm hearing a lot of this.
You said they disagree with him.
Wait, hold on one second.
Who disagree with him? Don't say they, he, and all that.
Okay, well, you said not to talk, use people's name.
Don't use their name. You can talk with this party disagree.
Hey, a lot of Americans and a lot of those in the political. Now I'm hearing from a lot of people on this talk, oh, one of the things that I'm concerned about is border control. And I remember the former president wanting to have border control and they banned it. They didn't want it.
He actually did. He did. He just wasn't able to build all the walls. If you check, I want to do a fact check on that one. It's not that they ban. Let me finish. It's not like they ban it. He started and he built several miles of walls. He did. They didn't finish. But the promise was, I'm going to build the walls and Mexico going to pay for it. Mexico did not pay for it. I'm paying for it from my taxes. But he actually built some walls. He was successful in erecting some walls in the southern borders, but they were not finished. Okay, Minister Ford, what do you think? Everybody's talking about border control.
Yeah, that's a sticky one there, and I say it's sticky because you got pros and cons both ways, right? Okay. I do think that they need to be more structured. I think that sometimes it can be so loose that it just allows for a lot of people to just kind of come in and take advantage. And what I mean by that is you have people that will come in and we've got to pay taxes on the benefits that they get.
I see.
And I'll say this, you go to the grocery store, you work all week, you get your little paycheck and you go and you're looking at the prices and you're doing whatever. And then I have some people who can't really, you know, they're not legal because they can't communicate like they need to be legal. And you'll see them with baskets of food because they're getting government assistance that we're paying for. And because we're paying for it, it's like, come on. So I think there needs to be structure. You know, you got a spectrum. You got a loose spectrum, and then you have a over aggressive section. So I'm not saying it just needs to be structured, whereas you have that medium that would allow some type of regulations. You know?
Yeah, I truly believe there's a problem in the southern borders. I believe there's a major problem when you're letting people in that they are undocumented, they are illegal, and you have people that waited for years to be able to get their residency and become a citizen. And everybody need to get in line, queue in line and come in legally. I mean, I have to get in line, okay? So you get in line too and come in legally and file your papers and all that. So I really believe there is, what former President Trump is saying is a fact. We have a problem at the southern borders that needs to be corrected and needs to be changed. Let me go to my viewers tonight. Maya says Sister Betty was cooking and you turn her off, Pastor. Finish frying your chicken, Sister Betty. Lady Betty, they want you to finish frying your chicken. Okay,
Thank you,
same
Jonathan.
benefits we can get, but Miguel got thousands in spending money.
Absolutely.
Okay, T. Roberts said during election time, all issues concerning Americans become hot topics. But one thing, let me see what he's saying. Once things settle down, these concerns fade. This is a widespread thought in and out the church. Thank you very much, T. Roberts, for your comment tonight. We appreciate that. Well, let me go to, I got two more questions and we're going to get offline. How do you feel about the morals and the ethics of the two candidates, or the three candidates, really? How do you feel? Stop laughing. I'm asking a question. How do you feel about the morals and the ethics of the three candidates? Robert Kennedy, Kamala Harris, and Donald Trump. Lady Betty.
Okay, for me is I'm uncertain about their morals or ethics because even though they say one thing, they may actually do another. I kind of researched, and I probably was wrong for that. I wanted to find out about Donald Trump, Christianity, and I also wanted to find out about Kamala Harris. So I asked, and I found out that the former president is a Presbyterian. Is that correct? And the vice president has no, she just said, it just says that she has faith and sometimes she go to church. So I'm uncertain about.
One says he's a Presbyterian, another one says I'm just a Christian.
No, she didn't say that. I won't put that word. That's not.
She said she just goes to church.
She said
she's a person of faith.
And then she goes.
All right. Thank you, Lady Betty. Yolanda, go ahead.
I feel like one don't even have morals. I think that there's no standards with one, meaning that anything goes. Whatever I say, it goes. Whatever I want to do, it goes. Whatever I want to demonstrate, it goes. There's no morals. There's no standards.
So, okay, no morals, no ethics for. Are you talking about Kamala
Harris? One of the candidates.
No. Robert Kennedy or Donald Trump?
Well, you said don't give names, so I'm not giving names.
Okay, you want to give names? Sure. Okay, so you say one. So you're saying two of the three don't have morals or ethics, or one of the three?
One of the three. I can't really speak on the new gentleman.
Okay, so one of the three you feel like they don't have ethics or morals. All right. Let me ask my viewers. Peter Uebu said, okay, Peter Uebu said, research the northern border and have this conversation next week. All right? Research the northern border. Well, maybe I get the Peter Uebu on our program next week then, if he's already done the research. Twyla say one is a felon. One of the three is a felon. Hakeem 18 say this is correct. Mama Betty, we don't know what Hakeem 18 is agreeing with. So T. Roberts say, amen. Peter Uebu, 2 Corinthians says it all about Trump. What is 2 Corinthians? You mean 2 Corinthians? All right, I prefer the evil I can see. Maya said, I prefer the evil I can see. Peter Uebu, you're absolutely correct, says Fire Liberian. Peter Uebu, so you don't mind going back to slavery then? Myers? Peter, you able to say, Myers, you don't mind going back to slavery days then? Hakeem 18 said, I don't prefer any evil, but for someone say this will be the last year that I will be able to vote, I'm not voting for you. Okay, Hakeem is saying he doesn't prefer any evil. But if one of those candidates that he has heard says that this is going to be the last year you vote,
That's true.
I'm not voting for you. I think Hakeem 18 is referring to the video that we played last year. Fire librarian say, Hakeem 18, you are on point. All right. Well, what do you all think? I didn't get any morality and ethics from any of my viewers. So, Peter, you able to say it's supposed to be 2 Corinthians, not 2 Corinthians. So are you saying he doesn't really read the Bible then? Is that what you're trying to say? Anyway, let me go on. I just heard the news that Kamala Harris says she's going to ban the price. She's going to ban price gouging on food and groceries. Food, groceries. That is going to try to do price control. Now, Republicans said it's a bad idea for her to try to control the prices of food or to ban the gouging. Food that's also supposed to be $20, you're charging $30 for it. Kamala Harris said when she becomes the president, she's going to ban the gouging of price gouging on food and grocery. But Republicans said it's a bad idea, that it's not going to work. What do you think, Lady Betty?
I'm not certain about that issue.
All right, Yolanda, what do you think about that?
Well, I think that what are they basing it on when they say it's not good? Do they think it's good when they sit up and raise my prices? Do they think it's good when they sit up and all this stuff is just steady elevating and the rich are getting richer and they're sitting up here taxing the poor people or the people that are working, the working class people, taxing them so much that we just have to sit up here and have to look and try to figure out how to make our ends meet? So is that okay? I mean, because they're doing everything in favor of a whole different group of people and not even considering everyone holistically, where you got the working man steady working, we're being taxed 20%, 30%, but the this other class over here don't even get taxed. So do they think that's fair?
I think the Republicans are saying that Kamala Harris, that her controlling the price of food and groceries, or trying to ban the price gouging, they're saying it's not really going to solve the problem, that is just a temporary problem, and it's a band-aid that's not going to solve it. But let me see what people are saying about that.
What she's trying to do is help the people that's trying to help themselves. What she's trying to do is help the people that's sitting up here getting paid and still trying to figure out how they're going to put food on the table. What she's trying to do is make sure you don't have somebody in a certain area. And I'll give you an example. Over here, I can go to my HEB over here. HEB Kroger's over here. Prices are so much lower. But let me go over there on Post Oak in Maine. Let me go to Fiesta. I can't even afford to go inside Fiesta. But that's a neighborhood that the prices are just outrageous. If you ever go into Fiesta and compare them to Sugarland, compare them to stuff that you see in Missouri City, completely different prices, same thing.
So you're saying the food are high in the poor neighborhood?
Absolutely. So when you sit up and start price gouging, because you're in a neighborhood, most of the people riding the bus, they don't have cars. They're just they're working class people. And you sitting up here, you got a bag of rice, and the bag of rice is $10 when I can go over here and get the same thing for $4.59. Yeah, that's price gouging. And it should not be. So for the Republicans to come back and say, no, don't control it, well, you don't have a problem. You got a butler. You don't have a problem because you don't even cook yourself. You don't even drive yourself. So don't sit up and try to regulate something that's completely out of your category.
Well, let me ask you all this then. Okay, what about if they flood the market with food? Let's say, they're able to get, transportation in order, and flood the market. If you flood the market with food and groceries, that can stop price gouging because the supply is more than demand. You're going to have to drop your prices. Or, I mean, if you have a problem with your workforce, flood the market with workforce, and that will stop, it will stop the problem. And that's what I think. But what they were saying is that if you just control the prices, that it is an artificial fix. But anyway, I understand what the VP is trying to do, but I personally, I think you put a pressure on them, eventually, you're not going to be able to watch them for the next 4 years. But well, we'll see what happens with that. Let me see if I got any comments. You don't know what it costs to raise chicken and cows. This Myers is so funny. He said, you don't know the cost of raising chicken and cows. Steve, read up on Project 2025. See if it benefits you. It doesn't benefit me, it hurts me. My mind is made up. Well, I did some fact checking on that. Project 2025 was not President Trump, former President Trump's idea. It was, that Project 2025 was written by Heritage Foundation. Even though it may line up with former President Trump's ideas, but it wasn't the originator of Project 2025. That's just a fact check for anybody that may be watching me thinking that former President Trump has anything to do with Project 2025. He doesn't have anything to do with it. Project 2025 was written by Heritage Foundation. Now, it may align with President Trump's views, but he did not write that, or his campaign did not write that. Hakeem 18, nah, J. Myers, you get there by voting for you, but for you know who. Peter Uebu, it's expensive to raise cows, not sure about chickens. Hakeem 18, chickens are cheap. Also, and so will you if you vote for him. Chickens are cheap. So you will be cheap if you both vote for him. I don't know who the him is. Peter Uebu, no, but it was the Republican Party. Okay, I don't understand that. If you're going to type a comment, you have to type a full comment so that we know what you're talking about. Well, my time is kind of up tonight. I got one more question. And this is my pet peeve. It's not even a question, my pet peeve. Why is one candidate so obsessed with crowd sizes, race, gender, and IQ, wasting opportunity to actually lay out your plans for the country? Why is that? Lady Betty, can you answer that question? Why is one of the candidates spend so much time about, the campaign crowd and the size of the campaign crowd and about the race? You were Indian, now you just turned black, or my crowd is bigger than Martin Luther King Jr. crowd, or gender and IQ. Why is one candidate so obsessed with that?
I feel, and this is just my opinion, when you've been conditioned to know that the majority rules, so I need this crowd, because the more people that is involved in what I'm saying, the greater my chances. So all of these things that he's doing, dealing with humanity, races, he understands that there are a lot of people in this world that will gravitate to a particular race. So this is why you might want to deal with a race. They know that people have issues like what we discussed tonight with the borders, with inflations, with taxes. So this is why a candidate would focus on these things, because they're trying to get the majority of the vote.
Well, focus your attention on the size of your crowd instead of just spending your quality time to tell us what you're going to do for the country. Take us to the future. Now, especially when you are comparing your crowd with Martin Luther King Jr.'s crowd when he gave that speech, I Have a Dream. I Have a Dream, I was told, has over 750,000 people. And his crowd was less than 200,000, 250,000. And you what matters? Just give us what you plan for the future. Why worry about the crowd Why are you worrying about somebody's gender, race, or all of this stuff? I mean, I'm just asking, you know, why.
Right, but
Minister Ford.
if I don't have a plan, I gotta say something, right? And I'm gonna say this, and I hope the audience understand what I'm saying tonight. He reminds me of a little boy in my class. His name was Edgar. Me and Edgar was in the 3rd grade, but Edgar wasn't smart at all. So what Edgar used to do in the classroom was cut up because Edgar needed attention. Edgar didn't want nobody to know that he didn't know. So because he didn't want nobody to know that he didn't know, he couldn't understand this, he couldn't figure this out, he didn't know what the answer was to the problem, he just cut up. He would fight, he would yell, he would cut up because he didn't want people to know. Well, that's the same spirit that we're dealing with now. There is no plan. I can't present to you something that I don't have. So that's why I need to gravitate towards something and deter your mind to make you focus on something that's so insignificant. What difference does it make if I'm orange, purple, brown, yellow? It doesn't matter. But if I can get you to focus on and make you think it does, then again, I win. So it's just an Edgar spirit.
Edgar spirit. I got it. That's a new one on me. Edgar spirit. All right. Let me go to my viewers tonight. I can't afford the whole chicken. Maya said he has to buy a quarter leg. Steve said because one candidate is so obsessed because he's insecure and shallow. And Peter, you able? No, but it was for the Republican Party. I just paid $15 for Wingstop. Oh, Maya said I just paid $15 for wings. Stop the cap. Queen SB rolling, rolling on the floor laughing. Hakeem 18, it is $3 to $5 for a chicken. Stop it. Twyla, he continues to have an audience with that nonsense. Oh Lord. Myers, I won't eat that $3 to $5 chicken, my man. Well, Peter, you able? That $3 to $5 chicken is much better. Okay. I'm trying to get everybody's coming by the audience. She mean me. Oh, okay. Maya thinks that somebody's attacking him. Hakeem 18, no, you grow your own chicken. My guy, it's about $15 for a hen or a grown chicken. All right, very true, Sister Yo. She's not talking about you, Myers. Be to you able. All right. Well, let me end my program tonight. I don't know. I mean, should we continue next week on this, or should we just stop right this week? If anybody wants us to continue on this thought next week, just say yes, continue. Let me see if I can take a vote. Lady Betty, what do you think? Should we continue next week on this same topic?
I think you should ask your viewers.
Okay, Minister Ford, what do you think? Should we continue on this topic next week? Minister Ford.
Yes, I'm okay with continuing as long as we can go deeper.
Okay.
Into a deeper level, not superficial.
Okay.
But deeper. What's the real issue? Because we've got some people that are strong-willed, some people that are looking at it from different angles. So I'm okay with going again.
We'll see what happens. Okay, Maya says stop. Oh, okay, Maya's talking about something else. Nah, not at all. Just jokes. Okay, Maya said he's just joking. Twyla said yes, let's continue. Let's do our research before getting on. Thank you very much. You know, people talking all kind of stuff without doing their own research and having facts. So I'm having to do fact checks. Okay. Steve said, let's continue. Hakeem said, at least that's why my pastor told me to go do research. Well, all right. Well, thank you so very much. And if any of my viewers want to be on the show next week, if you want to be on my show next week, go ahead and hit me up. And I may change I may add additional guests to our program, maybe 2 or 3 more guests to the program so that I may have 5 on next week. So if you want to be on the program, you're bold enough to be on my program, go ahead and hit me up, and I will make sure you get a link to be able to join me on the program. I want to say to all of you, thank you all for joining me tonight. I know we went a little bit, longer than we normally would. We started late too. Anyway, I want to thank you.
Nomination before we close. Can I make a nomination?
Okay.
For your guest? T. Roberts and Jay Myers.
T. Roberts and Jay Myers will nominate you to be on our program next week. Okay, I'm going to reach out to Jay Myers and T. Roberts to see if they can get on the program with me next week. Thank you for your nomination. Lady Betty, you want to nominate somebody?
No, sir.
All right. So I'm going to reach out to Myers and also Roberts to see if they will be able to get on our program next week. I want to thank all of you for joining us tonight. Hey, listen, it is what it is. Presidential election is coming, November. So early voting actually starts before then. So we're going to try to get you some dates. But whatever you do, make sure you are ready to vote and vote your conscience. Well, until next week on this same channel, YouTube and Facebook, this is yours truly, Pastor Akinbandele. Good night, everyone. What's going on?
Good night. Good night.